Off the shelf, La Bataille de Vauchamps. Okay, let's look at the defensive fire phase. So this is going to be French defensive fire, but defensive fire in general, there are a few interesting things to note. So any friendly combat unit with an FV, that's a fire value, that has an enemy unit in its frontal hex may fire at that enemy in the defensive fire phase. So I'm basically just going down the line and looking for defensive fire opportunities. It's defensive fire is exactly like all other fire, except it's always at a range of 1, obviously, because you can only fire adjacent. And the only stipulation to pay attention to is that each unit may only make 1 fire attack during defensive fire phase, and each hex can only be attacked once. So basically, if you're going to fire 2 or 3 or more units at 1 hex, you need to okay, you can combine that fire. I assume you can combine that fire normally. So therefore, each of those units involved in that combined fire would only do 1 attack during the phase, and that hex would only be attacked once. Okay. So we'll look at this first example here on the far French left. So we got the French infantry in skirmish formation. They want to do defensive fire. I want to do defensive fire with them against the hussars. They are in column formation. So I'm going to first double check real quickly and make sure there aren't any limitations here. So all right, let's figure out what kind of infantry that is. That is, oh, that's light infantry. Yeah, I should have known that from the little trumpet there. All right, so French light infantry in skirmish formation against hussars in column formation. Okay, there are a lot of rules under the skirmish formation, but this does look legal. And there's a limit to the number of increments that can fire out of a hex in skirmish mode, but this is only a 2 increment unit, so we have not exceeded that limit. So again, this is French light infantry. We need to know that because we have the infantry unit fire values. So I think what applies here. Okay, now we'll go in order. Fire procedure. Okay, so the fire procedure should apply to defensive fire as well. So I'm identifying the firing unit and the target. Okay, so I'm going to consult the infantry fire values. So again, we determined it was French light. That's French light cross-index with skirmish formation. Yeah. So that's times 3. So I think that we take the 2 increments, strength there, 2 increments strength, times 3 is 6. So I think that they're firing with 6 strength against the target there. Okay, and then modify each firing. Okay, multiplication on the special fire modifiers table. Where is that? Special. Oh, special. Okay, special fire. All right. Leader doesn't apply. Disordered, no. Each increment over 9 in the target hex. This is actually, I didn't realize this was such a large hussar unit. So that is 9 increments right there. Lower left, 9 increments. So right at that limit. If it had been any larger, we would have started getting a massed target bonus, I guess you could say. And then some artillery conditions there. Okay. Okay. Then we're going to determine the fire defense value. So we have again the hussars. It is light cavalry. I mean, hussars were light cavalry anyways, but the movement value of 15 on the lower right helps us to remember that it is light cavalry. Let me double check myself. Okay, I think that's right. Terrain fire defense values. So I think, again, hussars, a column in clear terrain. That's clear terrain there. So I think that it is, I think it's column and clear is 6. Yeah, I guess it's 6. Yeah, I think that's 6. So it's 6 to 6. So we roll 6 to 6 or 1 to 1. Oh, snake eyes. Wow. All right, so I go to the. Oh, that's the melee. Okay, it's fire. It's just nothing. Wow, snake eyes. 1 to 1. So we needed at least a 52. Yeah. Huh. Well, that was unfortunate. All right, so we have another. Okay, so this this light infantry has a printed increment value of 2, but it's already taken 1 loss. It took loss earlier from artillery fire, so it's at 1 increment. Oh wow, that's wow, that's like that's useless. Okay, so over here, this charge that's underway because it's marked. Oh, and the French infantry are disordered anyways. In line, it doesn't make any sense that they would. It doesn't make sense that they would do defensive fire because when it's marked, it's kind of like it's frozen until it's later resolved during the melee phase. So that's why, to me, it doesn't make any sense that they would be eligible for defensive fire. But I will double check that quickly, and otherwise, that's all the French defensive fire. Okay, now I'm not convinced that, I'm not sure which way to go, but I'm not convinced that the unit can't do defensive fire. This is the defensive fire phase. I think because they're disordered, their fire value is simply halved. Otherwise, okay, I checked the rules for actual disorder. Again, I guess it can fire. Now, one thing I missed, I think, is that when it disordered, I think it was supposed to go into basically no formation. So I think it was supposed to be oriented like in column, which I guess now it'll be treated as column for defensive fire and halved because it's disordered. I assume so. It's clear that it does not retreat like normal because it's a charge, because it's in response to a charge. That much is clear. But I'm assuming that it's still, because normally if a unit not in a charge situation goes to disordered state, it's moved to the column orientation, disorder marker put on it, and it retreats. But the rules clearly say it does not retreat in this case. It stays where it's at, but it's oriented. Well, it actually doesn't say that. The disorder rules talk about the orienting. No, they're still disordered. So I'm gonna put them in the column orientation, but that is going to affect their unit fire values, because they were line infantry, French line infantry in line formation. Now they're line in column. Square general order. I guess so. Printed fire value on the unit specific side. That I know is the middle or top 6. The 6 on the top there, because it's fire, melee, morale. Fire, melee, morale. I guess that's in alphabetical order, top to bottom. So it is 6, but then it's halved for disorder is 3. I think that's how that's going to be done. And I don't think there are any other modifiers. So, well, what would the terrain? Yeah, 6. Yeah. So 3 to 6, 1 to 2. So long odds. Yeah, 12, no luck. Okay, so that's French defensive fire phase, so they're there. And, okay. All right, for the offensive fire phase coalition segment, let's take a look at artillery fire now. We have unlimbered coalition artillery here. So these 3 hexes are the front hexes. So firing out the front hex, they're going to fire at the French light infantry here. It's just down to 1 increment left. This is the range of 2 hexes is short range. Fire values are right on the unit, so it's on the left there. On the left, it's 10 at short range, 6 at medium range, and 2 at long range. Okay, and yeah, I'll just leave it there for now. So it is 10. And the defensive value of the light infantry is light infantry skirmish formation is times 3. That was entirely wrong. I'm looking for the defensive value. So it's skirmish in clear. Yes, it's 12. Skirmish, clear. Okay, 12. So is that 10 to 12? Even though it was not a high odds attack, they actually got 66. So they actually caused 1 increment loss, with which, might as well look at this now. That is, that should eliminate the unit because it has a printed increment or strength there of 2. So, and it already had a hit before, so it's eliminated. So do a real quick check. What happens to eliminate a unit? Is it just removed and that's that? Does it have an effect on adjacent unit? Not sure. Okay, I don't see anything in particular about any kind of spreading reaction to elimination of a unit or whatever. But I am going to talk about, go through what in the rules is called incremental losses when a unit is eliminated. So this unit is eliminated, it'll be removed from the map play area, but specifically this is what happens. So if a unit is eliminated, that is, it loses all of its increments, place the unit. So right off the map play area are the order of battle charts or displays. And so right here is the unit, that unit right there. So you place it inverted to show that it's eliminated, like that. This also makes, so you know that it's eliminated and can't be used anymore, obviously. This also makes it easy to determine the number of eliminated battalions there are for its command's morale level determination. I'm not doing that now, but this is sounds pretty interesting, this larger formation morale state. Again, we'll get into that at some point down the road.